Hello and welcome. This is Christina Hills with the Website Creation Workshop and the Website Marketing Workshop, and you are here for the top 10 plugins every website needs and why. And if you are not familiar with me, my name is Christina Hills. I am a WordPress coach and teacher. I've been teaching WordPress since 2008. And I teach coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, and business owners how to create their websites in the Website Creation Workshop. And before I was doing that, I was a visual effects artist working for George Lucas's company, Industrial Light and Magic. I worked on Star Wars, E.T., the Extraterrestrial, and Jurassic Park. And here's some pictures from my Hollywood days. This is from Jurassic Park and then episode 1, and you can watch the movie and look at the credits at the end, and you will find my name in that Star Wars film, which was a lot of fun. But we're not talking about special effects and films. We are talking about WordPress websites. And if you don't yet have a WordPress site, you can join my foundational WordPress course. Just send an email later to support@websitecreationworkshop.com and we can send you some more info. All right, so we're talking about plugins. And what are WordPress plugins? So plugins are kind of like adding apps to your phone. So whether you have an iPhone or a Samsung Android, the phone comes out of the box and it works. But people often add different apps to your phone to have it do certain things you want it to do. Well, WordPress plugins are like that, so that's the way you want to think about them. And WordPress plugins can be visual with visible effects, or they can be behind the scenes functions. So let me give you a couple of examples. A visible effect might be falling snow. So you might have falling snow on your website, and you've probably seen that sometimes. People have snow on their website during the holidays. Or certain gallery plugins. There's a gallery plugin called Foo Gallery, and it has some nice effects. So some people add that to their website. And then behind the scenes that I talked about are backup plugins. So those are plugins you add to your site to do backups besides the backups that your hosting company would do. Well, when there are over 54,000 plugins, how do you choose? How do you know which plugin to use for your website? So stay with me till the end where I can answer your questions about all this material that I'm covering today. So let's step through my top 10 list of WordPress plugins and why you want to use them. So let's start with the first one that everybody always thinks of is search engine optimization, also referred to as SEO. Right? So what is SEO? What is search engine optimization? Well, although WordPress is already very search engine friendly, there are things you can do to boost your search engine optimization results, and most people just say SEO, without the need to hire an SEO expert. So I'm all about teaching entrepreneurs to be able to manage things themselves without having to hire anyone. And my first one, which is the most famous search engine optimization plugin, is called Yoast SEO. And it's free, and there's a few reasons why I like it. It improves your SEO. It makes you a better writer, which is really interesting. You wouldn't guess that. It can be used for breadcrumbs. If you don't know what breadcrumbs are, it's something that you can add And it creates a special map for Google. See, Google needs a special map, and this plugin helps Google with that. And even if you don't want to SEO your site for whatever reason, it'll make you a better writer. So let me show you a slide of the inside of WordPress. So if you've got a WordPress site, this will look somewhat familiar to you, this layout here. If you don't, then just kind of follow along. So it shows you when you have the plugin on, it shows you what it's going to look like. But let me show you the next screen, and this is where it gets really exciting. This is the part about Yoast SEO that makes you a better writer, because when you put up your article or your page, it will show you in green and red, like see this little red light. Do you remember the game red light, green light, 1, 2, 3? This is like what I think about every time I'm in here. It tells you if you don't have enough transition words, or you've got a passive voice, or you've got consecutive sentences. So it makes it really fun. You come in here and you look and you try to get these all to be green lights, and it tells you what to do. So then it will also show you on the right hand side if your SEO is good, and it gives you on this tab advice on what to do, and if your readability is good. So it's really a great plugin to not only help you with SEO, but it helps you become a better writer. So that's top plugin number 1. Let me go on to top plugin number 2, which is about cloning your pages. All right, so what am I talking about? Cloning is copying a post or a page. So, for example, I did a webinar on the simple truth about succeeding online, and I created it, and I had this sort of format in my picture. Then when I was getting ready to do this webinar, I use this plugin, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute. I'm just explaining what it is, to clone this page so that my format was the same with my arrow and my link and my picture and the picture at the top. So all I had to do is change pictures, change some of the text and the date, and it was a lot less work. This is also if you've got a portfolio page or any kind of page on your site where you want to duplicate it, right? So why reinvent the wheel? Just duplicate it and change it a bit. And this is the plugin. It's called Duplicate Post. So just write that down, Duplicate Post. And it'll do pages or blog posts. And it just saves you a lot of time. So let me show you on the next screen how easy this is. When you have this plugin installed and activated, it creates this little link here. And all you have to do is click on that, and it will duplicate the page and just save you a whole bunch of work. So that is my top 10 plugin number 2. Let's go on to plugin number 3, which is redirection. So let me explain how that works with visuals. As you know, I like to teach with visuals. The way redirection works is if you are on one page and you turn on the redirection, it can jump you over to another page. So, for example, when I was registering people for the website creation workshop, I had this page that explained what it was about, sort of giving a little bit of info with a coming soon and an opt-in box to be notified. But then when my class was open for registration, I turned on the plugin, so instead of people going here, it jumped them over to the registration page. So let me show you here. So here's a URL, right? A URL is what you type in. It's also link. So link, URL, same thing. When you typed this in, it would jump you over here. So the great thing is, let me back up for a second. When my registration was over, I just turn off the redirection and then it goes back to normal. So I'm not editing and updating and editing and updating. I just turn the redirection on and off. So what is the plugin? It's called Quick Page Post Redirect. Quick Page Post Redirect, and it will also do affiliate links as well. And I've got a screenshot to show you what it looks like. It's great for if you're doing a sale and you want to have a page that says product sold out. But again, you don't want to erase everything and put in product sold out. You can have different pages created, and then depending upon what you want them to see, you turn it on and off. Here's an example. If you have affiliate links, instead of giving out this kind of ugly long affiliate link, I just have christinasresources.com/gravity forms. So let me show you this. So, and it's a free plugin. So Quick Page Post Redirect, you install it, you turn it on, and then you check a box to make it active and where do you want them to go. And then afterwards, if you don't want to redirect them, you just uncheck that box. So then what you can do is you can give out a really nice link, a pretty link, and that pretty link will take them to this long, ugly link. So it makes giving out affiliate links or any kind of link that you want to redirect, it just makes it a lot nicer. You may or may not have an immediate need for this plugin, but I'm sure you can think of things where you might use it in the future. All right, let's move on to number 4, which is let's hide some widgets. Let's hide widgets. So widgets are like shelves in a bookcase, right? The widgets are the things, widget areas, let me start that again. A widget area are like shelves in the bookcase, and the widgets are the things you put into the bookcase, right? So that's how I think of widgets. Widget areas are the areas, and then the widgets are the things you put in. So those are the books. So for example, here is a sidebar widget area with 4 things on it. So you think of it as a bookshelf and it has 4 things on it. So these are the widgets, right? One's a search box, one's a recent post, one's a archives, and one's a categories. And this sidebar widget area is the bookshelf. So here's a screenshot from my site. And I've got my opt-in report, a search box, a connect with me on social media, success stories, and a link on how to update WordPress. So what I'm about to teach you is you can have a plugin to decide which widgets you want to have visible on some pages and which you don't want visible, right? So you, out of the box with WordPress, like everything would show on all pages and posts. But if you use a certain plugin, you can hide some. So you might want to have some things hidden or not visible. And this is the plugin you would use. It is called Widget Options. And it lets you control the visibility of your widgets in certain circumstances, which is very cool. The navigation bar is typically not a widget, but sometimes you might have a header widget. So you might have sidebar widgets, you might have footer widgets, sometimes you have header widgets. and I'm going to show you a header. I'm going to show you a header example in just a minute. So this is the plugin called Widget Options. I love it. So just look for this little dinosaur. And when you have it on, and when you install it and activate it, there's this visibility section, right? So you can decide for, let me back this up. Maybe I don't want my opt-in report on all the pages, or maybe I don't want the success stories on all the pages. So you can say and this is zoomed in, you can't see the whole thing. I want to hide this on my download page, or I want to show it on another page. So you can say hide if the page is, and then you can select the page. So you may not, your brain may be going, wow, I'm not really getting how I would use it. So let me show you an example. So this is one of my students, Jackie. She is an artist and a printmaker, and she's using a theme that has this banner widget at the top. And so what she decided to do is she decided to, on each different page, have a different image of her artwork. So here's another page. So here's her home page, and she's got this image. And here's her about page, and she has this other image. So what she would do, let me back this up. So she would say show if the page is, and she would specify. So it just makes her site a little bit more interesting because she can change the banner on specific pages. So there's lots of different ways that you could use this. It's a great free plugin. All right, let me move on to number 5, which is excluding some pages from your site's search. So let's say there are some pages that when people do a search, you don't want them to see it. So what am I talking about? Well, most websites have a search box, right? The search function is built into WordPress, and you can put it on your sidebar, and I have it on my right sidebar. Some people have it up in their top headers, if they have a header widget area. I have it on my sidebar. So sometimes you might want to have certain pages that you'd want to exclude. Like if I have a page where somebody takes a survey and then there's a thank you page after they've taken the survey, I might want to exclude these thank you pages from my search. So this is your on-site search, and maybe I just want to exclude some things for whatever reason, excluding them from the search. So this is the plugin. And I love this plugin because it's so easy. I'm going to show you in the next screen how easy it is. It lets you search exclude. It lets you easily tell WordPress which pages or posts to exclude from your search results, right? So all you have to do is with search exclude is activate it, turn it on, and then if you have a page you want to exclude from your on-site search results, you just check this little box. So then when somebody does a search, it will not show up. Now, some people are probably thinking SEO. To exclude a page or a post from a Google search, you'd use the Yoast SEO plugin. But to exclude a page or a post from when someone's at your site and they're typing in the search, then you would use the search exclude plugin. And note, you can have both. So, very cool. All right, number 6 of my top 10 is forms on your website. Most websites have forms, but there's a specific form I want to talk about. So what is a form? A form is like a contact us when somebody goes to your site and they want to get more info about working with you. A lot of themes. The theme is the design, look and feel of your site. A lot of them include a contact form, but form plugins go way beyond what any of the themes can do. And it's good to use a form plugin versus your theme um, because it just gives you more flexibility. And my favorite, this is a paid one, my favorite is Gravity Forms. So christinasresources.com/gravity form. It is a paid plugin, so most of the time I'm using free plugins. This one is a paid plugin, but it's worth the price. And why is it worth the price? Because it is so intuitive, you don't need to read any documentation. I think it's only once I've maybe looked at the documentation because it's just very, very intuitive. So once you're inside WordPress, and normally when you're inside WordPress, this is kind of black, but I made mine purple just to make it more fun. Inside WordPress, this is in the admin, there's a whole forms area. So this is the Gravity Forms area. And one of the features it has, besides being very intuitive, is it has this conditional logic. So just like the widget options, you can have a form that says, if they entered their phone number, you can then ask them what state they're from. Or if they entered their email, you can ask them for their phone number. So it makes having forms on your site nice because if they answered a certain question, then you can have other ones appear. So it just gives you a lot of flexibility. If you don't want to pay for a plugin, these are a couple of good ones. These two are free: Ninja Forms or Caldera Forms. And you might be thinking, oh gosh, Christina, I don't know which one to use. Both of these are good, but when you use one of them, one might be just feel more intuitive to you than the other. So, try them out. I like Gravity Forms, but these are a couple of other good ones. All right, we are up to number 7 in my top 10 countdown, and this one is automatically fixing SSL issues. All right, now that was a mouthful. It's like, wow, Christina, this is really techy. Let me show you this slide and it'll make it a lot easier. So, HTTP versus HTTPS, right? So, if you go to a site and it's HTTP, then it's not SSL secure. It's not secure. If you go to your site and you can type in HTTPS and you get a little lock, now sometimes it's green, sometimes it's black. The color doesn't really matter that much, but it just shows, yes, this is secure. So this is what SSL is, or an SSL certificate. If you've heard that term, just type in the chat. Have you heard this term SSL? Don't have a poll for it, but I just want to get an idea. Some of you are saying, most of you are saying yes. Some of you are saying no. This next time you go to a website, yes, Lance, it stands for Secure Socket Layers. Next time you go to a website, just look up on the top and see if it says HTTPS. It just means it's more secure. And let me keep going. So, in this example, this lock, and I don't have a zoomed in version, has this little yellow warning. And that's because one of the images, when I built this, I didn't type in HTTPS, right? So there's like a little warning, right? And you don't want people coming to your site and getting a little warning. Well, this plugin, number 7, you're going to love because it solves the problem of your assets, the things on your site, not showing up secure and not having this little lock. So, now that I've taught you this, if you didn't know about this before, next time you go to a website, you're going to be looking for these locks all over the place. So, really simple SSL solves any SSL problems of images not showing up as secure. It just fixes them for you, which is great. Now, you'll want to, if you have a website, you'll want to check with your hosting company and just ask them, do I have SSL? And tell them you want it, and it shouldn't cost you anything. Most hosting companies give it to you for free. So, let me move on. Hopefully that wasn't too techy. To this next one, number 8, which is on finding moldy plugins. All right, so what do I mean when I say moldy plugins? A moldy plugin is a plugin that has been abandoned, right? So plugins, all these free plugins, people are writing them, they're volunteering their time, and sometimes they abandon them. They just decide, you know what, I don't want to work on this plugin anymore. So what I'm about to teach you is to help you know when your plugin gets abandoned. Now, in this screenshot, you'll see last updated 4 years ago. There's a little warning that it hasn't been updated in 2 years, but you're not necessarily going to every plugin and looking at this all the time. So, I have a solution for you, which is called WordFence Security. WordFence Security, what this plugin does, and they have free and paid ones, and I just use the free version. It will run, and I'm inside WordPress now, it will run a scan of your site and let you know if you have any problems. So here it's showing that 2 of the plugins, when I ran this scan, looks like they have been abandoned. So it shows a medium severity. These 2 have been abandoned. This one, which I didn't circle, just says it needs an update, right? So if it needs an update, no big deal. You'll see this little orange thing. You can run an update. But this is warning me it looks like it's been abandoned. And then here's a red warning, critical warning, of a plugin that has been removed. Right, so this plugin has been removed, so I should just completely delete it. Right, so don't worry, you don't need to stress about this. Just every so often run a scan and see if it comes up with plugins that have been abandoned, and then go look and maybe deactivate them or find a different plugin. All right, well, that was number 8. Number 9 is all about backups. Oh no, I didn't make a backup. I've heard this a lot of times, and either you know someone or this has happened to you where you get in a situation and you don't have a backup. So what kind of situations? Well, occasionally when you're doing some kind of update, the software might glitch and break. Or even worse, what if a hacker sneaks into your site and breaks your site? Or an act of God. You never know when your hosting company, I mean, this doesn't happen often, but it could potentially happen where something happens and your site goes down. Well, backups are insurance. Let me take a sip. You rarely need them, but when you do, it's important. So you want to have a backup plugin, not just rely on your hosting company. And so backup plugins, I have a couple for you, and then I have a couple to show you. Hold on, let me take another sip. Here are two good free backup plugins, Updraft Plus or BackWP Up. They're both popular. They're both good. I think this one's a little more popular, but look at each of them and try them out and see which one you like better, Updraft Plus or BackWP Up. Oh, one of the things that I've been doing is using this system. This is a third party called ManageWP. They have free and paid versions, and it's kind of like having, like being an air traffic controller. So I have all my different sites in here, and I can manage and back up and update them all in one place. So I've been using this more and more because I really like the interface. So, check out these others or check out ManageWP, christinasresources.com/ManageWP, and just make sure you have some kind of backup and you've downloaded it to your computer just in case something goes wrong. All right, we're coming around the bend to number 10. Number 10, let's speed things up. Let's get your site speeded up. So how do we do that? Well, you can speed up your website by caching it. Caching, that is the term. And so what is caching? So do you know what caching is? I don't have a poll. Just type in the chat. Do you know what caching is? Oh, wait, I think I do have a poll. Yeah, let me launch this poll. Yes, I'm going to explain what it is, but yes, I know what caching is. I've heard of caching, but I'm not exactly sure, or I've never heard of caching before. So you just click on the screen, lets me know where you are at, and all right, I think I'll close the poll. Don't want to keep it open too long. Want to keep this moving along. So I will close the poll, share the results. So a good number of you do know what it is. Some of you have heard of caching, but you're not exactly sure. That's the majority of you. And some of you have never heard of caching before. All right, let me hide that. Go to my next slide. So you want to think of caching as like taking a Polaroid. It's a snapshot of your site. So by taking a snapshot of your website, it kind of fixes in time what your site looks like. And if you've got your site up, and let's say you've got your About Us page, and you haven't changed it in weeks, it's not something you're necessarily changing every day. If you have caching turned on, then when someone visits your site, they're looking at the snapshot of your website. So they're seeing a snapshot of your site, and then if your site changes, the system will take a new snapshot. So this is how you think of caching, as like little Polaroids of your site. And there's there's actually a lot of free caching plugins. One is Auto-Optimize. I always pronounce it Auto-Optimize, but it's Auto-Optimize. Funny name. Or W3 Total Cache. So these are two caching plugins that, when activated, they just make your site run faster. And there's one more that's really popular, but it is paid. The last two I told you about were free. This is a paid plugin, and it just has a fantastic reputation. You can find that at christinasresources.com/WP-rocket. So this is the number 10 of my top 10. Let's speed up our site. Turn on caching. You don't even have to fully understand it. You just turn it on, and it'll make your site go faster. So I want to take you through my quick steps to evaluate any plugin. And I like to think of plugins as like little robots that are happily doing this work for you, and they're just kind of running in the background and doing it. All right, so let's talk about plugins. There's two ways to find a plugin. You can search inside, and if you have WordPress, you'll be familiar with this. If you don't have WordPress, this will be new to you. You look in the plugins area and you can find a plugin. You can add a plugin and you can find it. Or you can find a plugin at wordpress.org. So this is the directory of all the plugins. And sometimes people refer to it as the repository. So you might hear that term, the repository or the directory or wordpress.org. What I want to stress is they are the same plugins. So if you find it here, you'll be able to get it inside WordPress, or if you find it here, you'll be able to go over here and learn more about it. So this is the same exact set of free plugins. That's what these are, free plugins. Well, what I'm about to teach you now is how to evaluate without getting overwhelmed. So the best way to evaluate a plugin is to go to wordpress.org and use the search function. So let's say someone told me about Foo Gallery and I want to learn more about it. So I would I go to wordpress.org, I type in Foo Gallery, and up comes some search results. So I'll click on the first one. And I've now found the plugin page on wordpress.org because I did that search. And here's the description, and here's the little graphic, and it talks about it. So what I want to teach you about is what to look for. If you're not super techie, what to look for to help you evaluate this. So you think of these as a group. You want to look at last updated, how many active installations, and tested up to. What was it tested up to? So in this example, when I took the screenshot, last updated 3 weeks ago. So, hey, that's a good sign if it's 3 weeks ago. Remember in my other example, it was last updated 4 years ago. That's not a good sign. Active installations, over 100,000. That's a good sign. If you see active installations like 23, that's not a good sign. The more people using a plugin, it's a really good sign that it's a good, well-supported plugin. And then tested up to, this is whatever the latest version of WordPress is. So it was 5.2 when I took this slide. So even if it was last updated, let's say it said 6 months ago, but it showed tested up to the current one, then this is a non-abandoned plugin. So these are the things you want to look at, right? So let me go to the next one, which is the star ratings. So you want to look at the star ratings. Now, think about star ratings like you could go to Amazon and I look at star ratings. Sometimes you have complainers, right? Like in this example, 18 people gave it 1 star. But the majority gave it a good star rating. So you kind of want to look at it like, okay, does it have some good star ratings? So that's the other thing you want to look for. And you want to look at the support forum. Okay, so here's what I want you to look at. When you're evaluating a plugin, you click to view the support forum. And I'm not saying you should read everything on the support forum. What I want you to look at is how active is it? Are questions being answered? So here, when I took this screenshot, here's 2 hours ago, 10 hours ago, a day ago. Some of these are pinned to the top. See the little pin? So the fact that this says a year ago, this is the developer putting up an announcement. So you just want to see, is it active and are questions being answered? Now, definitely use the support forum if you're trying to find out something specific, But I'm talking about in the evaluation stage, you just want to know, like, this isn't a ghost town. That questions are being answered. And I just want to pause and say about support forums, just remember with WordPress, with these free plugins, people are helping you for free. So you want to always be nice in support forums. Be nice, be respectful, and remember they're answering questions specifically on questions that you couldn't find in their videos or demos. So that's another thing to look for. Does a plugin have a demo page or videos or examples? Like, have they put effort into it? You want to glance at their demos and documentation. So I'm not saying go read every single thing before you install a plugin. Just see, do they have documentation? Like, I've looked for things in the past, and if they have zero documentation, I'm like, I don't know if I want to use it because I don't know how committed they are. So just see, do they have it? So that's why I say glance. And do they have a pro version? So if a plugin developer has a professional version, there's a good chance they're making money and they'll stay in business. I'm not saying you necessarily need to buy the pro version. Sometimes you want to buy it, sometimes you don't. But knowing they have a pro version is a really good sign. So that's my little tip. If they have a pro version, it's a very good sign. That means they are serious about supporting their plugin. They just didn't create it on a whim and then they'll later abandon it. All right, so we've been talking about WordPress websites, and let's say you have a WordPress website, but is it helping you to market your business, right? That's the point of a website, is to help you market your product and services. Well, you're in the right place if you just know you should be doing more with your website, but you're not sure exactly what to do. And you're in the right place if you already have a WordPress website, because I want to tell you about my website marketing workshop. My website marketing workshop has 7 modules to help you transform your website into a client magnet. Start where you most need it. You get immediate 24/7 access. I do live coaching, 2 live coaching webinars a month. Sometimes it's with me, sometimes it's with a guest expert. All of the webinars are recorded for download and replay, and I have an extensive video library. So I clip out short sections and put it into my video library. And you can get answers to questions about your business and your website. Plus, we have a Facebook group for community support. So let me talk about the 7 different areas of 7 different modules. The first one is refresh and renew, where if you want to switch and get a new theme, I'll help you find a new theme. Teach you about out-of-date plugins and settings, so the important things you need to know how to do. If you don't have a secure SSL, I'll teach you about the steps to do that. And teaching you about cleaning out abandoned themes, plugins, broken stuff, all these kinds of refresh, renew, update, kind of give your website a facelift. Then in the content creation secrets module, you'll discover how often you should blog and how long your blog post should be, and how to develop a habit and system for creating content for your website and later for posting on social media, and how to find, how to find and add inspiring images and videos to your blog posts. Then in the social media module, you'll discover how to get more social followers when people visit your sites, how to know which social media sites to focus on and which you can ignore, how to get people to share your articles, blog posts, and ideas across the web with easy sharing buttons. Then the other part of marketing your website is growing an email list. And in this module, you'll learn email marketing explained and demystified in simple terms, how to easily add stylish email sign-up boxes anywhere on your site, and step-by-step instructions to set up any email marketing system on your website. Then there's this SEO module, how to write articles that will make you show up higher in Google, how to optimize any page or blog post for Google rankings, simple adjustments and plugins to use on your site that will help improve your rankings. Then there's a module on selling from your site, and some people want to sell and some people don't. How to easily add payment buttons to your site. You can use PayPal, Stripe, Amazon, or any shopping cart you like, and you can do this in just minutes without techie skills, so you don't have to hire someone. Then there's the tracking and analyzing site, how to add Google Analytics dashboard to your website, how to understand what is happening on your site and know what visitors are doing, and how you can improve your website to make it more sticky, that's the term, so people stay there longer and convert from a prospect into a customer. So you've got this website marketing machine, and I have this in a circle, so updating your site, creating content for your site, leveraging social media, building an email list, getting traffic from the search engines, selling online, and tracking your stats. It's this circle because you can kind of, as you work on your site, you can go in any order. Work a little bit on one, then work a little bit on another. It's a holistic approach to marketing your site. This program includes 2 live coaching webinars. Again, some of them are trainings, some of them are Q&A, where you bring your questions you have about marketing your website and you get coaching directly from me and my coaches. You can attend live or listen later. So that would be, if it's a Q&A webinar, you can submit questions ahead of time and we will answer in your absence. Everything is recorded and stored in our online members area. And we have a private Facebook community group, so you can share your sites with others, get support from me and my coaches, stay on top of important trends. So I want to show you a few success stories before we get to questions. This is Lila. She is an artist, a coach, and a speaker, and this is her beautiful site. And she says, it has always been my dream to write and share stories of my photographs that I shoot while traveling the world. Christina Hills's website marketing workshop offered me an opportunity to realize this dream. Through this incredible process of learning to market my website, I've been able to reach and have dialogue with so many wonderful people. The classes were thorough, well explained, and her customer support people were always ready to help. When I finished the program, I was so confident in maintaining and marketing my website. There's always seems to be a way to have access to any information you need through her support programs. I cannot thank Christina Hills and her team enough for helping me accomplish something that seemed so unobtainable 2 years ago. Let me show you Lauren Slade. She teaches and does reflexology. She says, I love how Christina Hills always keeps me up to date on the latest trends and technologies for WordPress in the website marketing workshop. And the biggest thing is that she really wants us to succeed. She and her team stays on top of things and makes sure everyone is taken care of. I've been learning from her for years, and she always has a fresh new approach to things that helps me keep my business and websites running smoothly. And this other one from Sally Stone, who's an author and coach. She says, Christina Hills has been my go-to mentor for building my own website since 2012. Her trainings have empowered me to maintain control over my own website, which has been crucial to updating my website in a timely and affordable manner. When I was ready for my business to expand and take advantage of the modern, very real need to have social media, email marketing, SEO, and appointment tools, I'm going to talk about online booking, managed on my website, I took Christina's website marketing workshop. The result for me has been a complete website makeover that I'm really proud of and excited to unveil. And some of you do see clients either in person or on the phone. One of my bonuses in my program is my online appointment booking training, how to take appointments right in your website with an easy to install plugin, why you should use this for both paying clients and potential new clients, and how this will save time for you and make your clients happier. So I don't know about you, but there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I wish they just had an online tool where I could just book my appointments. So I'm sure you've run into this. And here's Sally. She's got a little pop up where you can book with her. Then, if you've heard of the Divi theme and you want to use the Divi theme, this is the theme I use, and I will be going to my site to show you. I have a bonus on Divi, on using the Divi 3 theme to create one-page websites, but you can create any website you want. And it's very visual, high emotional impact, and you can upgrade your site to this more modern look. Uh, and here's one of my students, her before and after. Here was her site before, here's her site after. This was sort of narrow and tight. This has a bigger, bolder look. She said, I came to Christina's program at a critical time in my business when I was making big shifts, including wanting to upgrade my website. Through the program modules and the monthly Q&A sessions, I had a fabulous new theme. She chose Divi and learned how to use it with great results. She provides a wealth of information, answering questions I didn't even realize I had. Best of all, she breaks down the complexity of everything website oriented into manageable steps. And here's Michelle's before and after. So she had a WordPress site, she just really didn't know how to use it. And in the website marketing workshop, she learned how to get her theme updated. And let me read you her testimonial. Now, I used to call this the website transformation workshop, but I rebranded it to the website marketing workshop, so I'll use that word. I just wanted to make a post here and show how impressed I am with your website marketing workshop so far. I've only made it through the refresh module, but has jumped around to check out different things, including looking at this Facebook forum. That's our private Facebook group. I can tell you are passionate about teaching on this topic, and so far everything has been so well and thoroughly explained. It's truly refreshing to have the step-by-step instruction when you are someone who doesn't know that much about WordPress or how to create or maintain a website. Thank you, Christina. And we're talking about transformations. I just want to show you my site has transformed over the 12 years I've been doing this. And you're probably going to have your own transformation. So I want to let you know that the enrollment in my website marketing workshop is risk-free, and let me read you my guarantee. I'm so confident in the website marketing workshop, and I know if you follow the steps and do the work, you will have a truly transforming experience marketing your website. And just to back that up, we will give you your first 30 days to decide if my teaching methods are for you. If you decide this program is not for you, just let us know by email within 30 days and you will get a 100% refund of your first payment. After 30 days, you can just cancel your future payments. So you're going to want to go to websitemarketingworkshop.com.